This luncheon coincides with what can only be called a war on women. In Washington, anti-choice politicians have gone from trying to redefine rape to allowing hospitals to refuse to provide abortion care to women who will die without it. They also want to subject rape survivors who choose abortion care to audits by the Internal Revenue Service. Now, in short, I see this as a battle between their hypocrisy and our hope for the future.
We want access to affordable, easy-to-obtain reproductive health care. This is not just a reasonable expectation. It's a human right. And I mention these young people just to make the point that not only is the pro-choice movement alive and well, but that it's innovative, energized, and that it's increasingly youth-led. And while these young women are doing amazing things all on their own, without a doubt, they still need our help and they need our support, but most importantly, they need our recognition.
Even if one day on the floor they said to me, they got up and they said, Nancy Pelosi thinks she knows more about having babies than the Pope. You have always been totally vigilant, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, Nancy Keenan, and others, always been vigilant on the subject. I'm so sad about it, but maybe it had to come to this so that the country can see this is about a limitation of your freedom.
So that the Montana lawmaker, the one who believes that women are no more valuable than cows, here's how much money we raised here today, and he recognizes that he cannot dismiss us. He calls us cows. Let's write a check to let him know that he's an ass.
After I had an abortion, I had a choice to make. I could remain silent, or I could share my story and start to work to remove the stigma associated with abortion. I chose the latter. It wasn't an easy decision either, but I've never regretted it for a minute. I was immediately flooded with messages from women from all over the country. Some of these were women that I'd gone to high school with or had worked with, and others were from women that I would never ever meet. Overwhelmingly, the messages they sent were the same. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not alone, for breaking the silence, and thank you for inspiring me to share my own story.
So for you Gen X's and especially you Gen Ys out there, Gen Ys, millennials out there, if you're thinking, why is my mom, my grandma, my great-grandma maybe, my aunt, so concerned about this right to choose? It's because we didn't have it, and we are scared. We are scared that you are going to lose it.
Thousands and thousands of calls from women and men across this country saying, thank you for speaking up for all of us. And that's really the message. It is time for all of us to speak up. It's time for all of us to stop being bystanders. It's time for all of us to unleash the stories that are in our hearts and to tell them and to not be afraid. And it's time for all of us to be heard.